How's it going, my G's? Hope everyone is having a nice weekend. I hope you've got your chai tea with a bit of brown sugar in it and you're ready for some learning. Today, we're going to do a video on YouTube, all right? If you're new to the channel, make sure you snike and it's very, very important that you do that because we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. When we get 2,000 subscribers, you know that we're going to have a disco in my pants. Yeah. Anyway, I'm actually really grateful for everyone who has subscribed. I'm not sure why you have, because I'm a bit of a nutter, but hopefully you do learn a little bit from my videos. So that is always good. Also, if you want to get a little bit more personal with me, you can check out my Discord community down below. We have some really amazing people in my chat. It's sometimes makes me want to cry, the things that they talk about in there. All jokes aside, I have a beautiful student from Russia who had to leave the country, unfortunately, just because of the regime. But I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that on YouTube. Well, I just did, didn't I? Yeah. Also, check out my website as well down below. You can find my presets, infinite information about my lessons, and my mastering services, my new music, and all that kind of good stuff. Let's get into today's video. I'm going to show you some wicked 2 tips with Vital and a nice new bass line. Let's have a listen to the loop. So this is the pump bass, which is quite natural. And the reason I made a pump bass was because I can't work out at the moment because I can't, my neck and my back is in a lot of pain. In order to get the pump that I normally would have from push-ups or whatever, I decided to resample the sound of an air pump. So I thought I'd use this pump as a bit of texture and also use the rhythm of it and put that into Vital to make a bass that kind of goes along with it. So I'm going to show you how I did that first in the sound design, and then after that I'm going to show you like 2 cool tricks you can do in Vital for some macros to make your bass patches like a little bit more expressive. I should also mention that I tried to challenge myself this week to make 7 videos, 1 video per day. So this is Saturday's the 6th video of 7. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Anyway, let's get into this patch then. So I'll open up the Vital. Well, actually, I think I've still got the audio file here. So this is the original pump. And I've already flexed it and I've just timed it so it kind of works within my loop. So with my kind of drum beat together. So rhythmically it kind of works on its own as a sample. You go doom, 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 kind of on an offbeat pattern. So when I add that into Vital here, and then all I have to do is just obviously insert the note in the MIDI and just leave it running the whole time, and it will play through that sample, and then I can use that as a bass to like do my LFOs to, you know. So that's kind of the rhythm and what it starts off with. But then I must confess I got very complex with this patch, right? So I'll tell you what, let's turn off all the unwelcomed Michael Bay effects. Coughing, and then yeah, let's try and start from scratch. But I must warn you, I kind of went a bit haywire on the trial and error with this, so this part of the video won't make too much sense, but at the end it will, because I'll show you the cool macros that I've done here, which you can do on any patch. So right, we've got the sample, we've got it going into like a low sine wave here with the FM sample. A little bit of a kind of modulation there on my LFO1, and that's all going into another sine wave pitched up or down still, but up from the first one, and we FM1 it here, FM1 from oscillator 1. So it's a combination of things happening, which is 2 sine waves FMing into each other, and then the sample going into the first one. So by doing these all kind of 3 together, you get that growly sine wave bass, but you also get a texture from the sample as well. And if I turn off the filter for a moment, it's very chaotic, right? Because the sample has a lot of high-end texture, and when it's being FM'd, it also just becomes like quite extreme in the high end, to be honest. And yeah, so I basically thought I have to just low pass filter it, so just to give us some hope. I added in a little saw wave at the end, or I should say a big saw wave, because it's very, very low pitched, but it's the level is quite down. It's kind of filling out a bit more of the frequencies in like the low mid range. Anyway, that's kind of what's happening here. This one's been stereoed. Oh, you know what? It sounds good without the stereo as well. We'll leave it on for now. We'll see if we switch it later if it sounds better or not. By the way, I don't know what I'm doing with this patch. I'll probably release it on a future preset pack. But if you like really want it now, you can message me in Discord, or if you're not in there, join it and then message me and tell me you want it, and then I'll give it to you because it is pretty sick. But yeah, let's add the effects next. So a bit of distortion, linear fold. This is also on our beautiful LFO2 here. Which is, so sorry, I've been really bad at explaining again. To create the actual movement in the sound, I've used two LFOs, right? I've used an LFO1, which is like on a dotted quarter note pattern with a bit of stereo turned up, so it gives a bit of detail in the left and right. And then my LFO2 is a little bit tighter, it's on quarter notes and there's no stereo. I'm using this to do the main kind of filter movement. So it's two like separate modulations happening at once. So it becomes quite a complex rhythmical patch. And yeah, let's turn the compressor on as well here. All a bit crazy, isn't it? The reason why it's so crazy is because this sample, I've actually changed the pitch on it on the LFO1. So the LFO is pitching up and down the sample. So if I were to bypass that, and unbypass it again, it's just making the pitch go up and down. The speed of it's kind of changing. It's very like unpredictable, but it's the texture that's being unpredictable. But we're still getting some main kind of movement into the sound, like with the filters that I'm going to show you now, like the LFO on the low pass here, and then also if we add in the next filter here, it's a kind of band pass filter, just on an LFO on the cutoff and on the mix. So by using the filters and putting those through the LFOs, we can create more of a sense of like detectable rhythm amongst the kind of chaos which has been created by this sample just pitching up and down randomly, and this FM amounts kind of randomly kind of working together, this unison just random as well. So once we've got all that randomness and all those harmonics, we know we need to shape it and give it like a detectable rhythm, you know. So that's why I've gone a bit heavier on the filtering and then added this kind of like more grounding, anchoring LFO. So a little bit more processing. I've got a bit of reverb on a modulation here. A little bit of an EQ to boost this kind of mid, sort of high or treble area, I suppose. Just kind of lacking a bit there before I did that. And then on our delay, we've got a tiny bit, like less than 1% of a kind of tail to the end of the sound. Very, very quick on the frequency here. The chorus really helps here as well. Gives it a really nice kind of room sound, like finish, makes it a bit larger than life, but just kind of, yeah, just puts it in a bigger kind of, it's like a stadium feeling almost, you know. I love the chorus in Vital, it really gets me horny. Yeah, so yeah, that's the main patch then. And so if we move on to the kind of special tricks that I've decided to do on the macro here, and I'm going to play them first and you can kind of guess what I've done, and then I'll explain what I've done. So listen to the pitch mod effect. Did you notice it? Back on. You can't, unless you're listening very carefully on good system, you won't be able to notice it. I'll explain it though in a minute because it does make a big difference to me. And this is the second effect, the tighten. See if you notice what this is doing. I think you'd have to be an idiot not to hear the difference with that one. I think the first one is more subtle, definitely, but this one, you can hear it, right? So the second one, the tighten one, all I've done is on the LFO 4 here, I've created a kind of nice quarter note LFO rhythm, and I've just tracked it to the overall volume pretty much. And then to control the LFO, I've just on the macro, I've turned the smooth all the way up to 100%, and then attracted the smooth mover to the macro here. So when it's off, the smooth is all the way up, and when I turn the macro up, the smooth goes down, not quite all the way, but most of the way. So it starts to activate the LFO. So you could obviously blend it in a bit here. Get a bit funkier with your grandma on a Sunday night. Actually, it's Saturday, isn't it? Get a bit funkier with your grandma on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, but if you didn't realise what I did with the pitch one, because I think this is actually a bit of a winner, you know. LFO 3. Sorry, I keep having to clear my throat. It's the same with the smooth on the macro. I'm just activating or deactivating the LFO by using the smooth knob and then tracking the smooth knob to the macro to like turn on the effect. And for this LFO, I've got an LFO 3 on the voice transpose, which is just in the advanced tab here, at 12 semitones, right? And so basically, when it goes all the way up here, it's pitching up a whole octave, but because it's so sharp, you don't really notice the pitch that much. But if I'd kind of change the speed of the LFO or something, see, that is also sick. That's more noticeable, isn't it? I think maybe we'll leave it on that. But anyway, I had it on a quick one, and it's like just at these the right moments in the pattern, it just goes up and down quickly in pitch, and it just causes the speaker or the headphone or whatever to just be like, ooh, everything's moved up. It's like a little boost in energy that you don't really notice the pitch changing. It's just like giving an energy boost, like when you pitch a kick drum down or pitch a bass down really quickly. But now I'm doing it in the middle of the LFO pattern. So that's something I've never done before. So that's exciting, isn't it? But I quite like it at this slow one as well. Yeah, sick. I like that. I'm going to leave you on a high. So yeah, peace.